Esteemed members of Parliament, dear companions in our cause. Unfortunately, crises and wars continue without interruption in our geography. Whether we turn our attention toward Gaza or Lebanon, wherever we look, we encounter the cries of the oppressed that tear at our hearts. Since the day it was founded, Israel has continuously performed a function that threatens peace, tranquility, prosperity, and security in our region. The occupation of Palestine and the genocide against the Palestinians continue systematically. Look, before the eyes of the entire world in Gaza, 73,000 innocent people have been massacred. This genocide continues both in terms of the scale of the killings and in terms of the inhumane conditions of isolation imposed there. Having carried out the bloodiest genocide in human history, Israel simultaneously attacked Iran, and not content with that, simultaneously began occupying Lebanon. Despite the reactions of regional countries, including Turkey, Israel refuses to withdraw from Lebanon and continues its bloody operations there. Since the beginning of the conflict, the number of those killed in Lebanon has reached 3,700, while the number of wounded has reached 11,400. At the same time, Israel has embarked upon a covert effort to destabilize African countries and the Mediterranean region. The Zionist administration has effectively become a source of constant unrest across a broad geography, functioning as a festering wound and a factory of discord. Unfortunately, the necessary reaction is not being shown by the world to Israel's policies that recognize neither rules nor law, neither principles nor values, neither limits nor boundaries. Under the current government, Israel has become increasingly spoiled and has turned into a source of threat not only for the region, but for humanity itself. The attacks carried out by Netanyahu and his criminal network against Syria and Lebanon have reached a point where they now threaten not only these two brotherly countries, but also Turkey. I want everyone to know this once and for all. Syria and Lebanon are two independent sovereign states. However, these two states, Syria and Lebanon, are also countries that lie within Turkey's geography of affection and brotherhood. Damascus and Beirut are two sister cities of Istanbul. Turkey's security begins not only from Hatay, it begins from Aleppo. It begins from Damascus. Turkey's security begins from Beirut. We will not tolerate any fait accompli in the countries of our brothers and sisters. We will not turn a blind eye to any attack directed against them. Now they and those who encourage them come out and issue so-called threats against Turkey here and there. There is no need for you to say these things. We already know your intentions, your objectives, and your goals very well. We see very clearly what you are pursuing. We are fully aware of what the ultimate objective of the delusion known as the Promised Land is. With Allah's permission, we will never allow it. Now we see that an attempt is being made to ignite a fire of discord in the Mediterranean, particularly on the island of Cyprus. And we are following developments very closely. Certain small entities whose ambitions greatly exceed their size have boarded Israel's boat of provocation. They have assumed the role of subcontractors for Zionism. They have supposedly begun chasing certain unrealistic dreams in the Eastern Mediterranean. I am speaking very clearly. No one should pursue adventures. No one should attach themselves to the tail of the Zionist network of massacres. If the rights and interests of Turkey and the Turkish Cypriots in the Eastern Mediterranean are targeted, let it be known that our response will be very clear and very harsh. My dear friends, encouraged by the silence of the international community, Israel is behaving with extreme arrogance and is obstructing the achievement of comprehensive peace, stability, and security in our region. Bringing Israel back within the boundaries of law has now become a common issue, not merely for certain countries, but for humanity as a whole. The attacks against Iran and Lebanon have had negative consequences, not only for regional countries, but also on a global scale. Therefore, Israel's aggressive attitude constitutes a threat not only to our region, but to humanity itself. 85 years ago, silence and inaction in the face of Hitler resulted in the deaths of 80 million people around the world. All humanity paid the price for the madness of a deranged murderer. Today, the same mistake is being repeated. The genocides carried out by Netanyahu, the butcher of Gaza, and his cabinet are being watched with the same great silence and lack of reaction that once surrounded Hitler. Let no one forget this. When the fire grows, it does not merely burn the region. Its sparks fall everywhere in the world. Just as the entire world is paying the price today for the deadlock in Hormuz, if Israel's lawlessness is not stopped, all humanity, together with this region, will suffer the consequences. The courage and common sense demonstrated by Spain in Europe must also be shown by other countries. This is a historic responsibility. The blood of the genocide continuing today in Gaza has stained the hands and faces of those who remain silent in the face of it. Those who remain silent will likewise bear responsibility for the consequences of this aggression that began in Iran and Lebanon and now threatens Syria, the Mediterranean, and Africa. Israel must be stopped. This is the duty of humanity and of the front of humanity. History must not be allowed to repeat itself. Despite all of Israel's acts of sabotage, Turkey will continue to do everything in its power to establish peace and stability in its region. Together with our neighbors, our friends and brothers, and all countries that believe in peace, we will continue patiently to knock on every door and pursue every diplomatic avenue in order to stop the bloodshed and the tears. From here, we also send our messages of solidarity to our brothers and sisters in Gaza and Lebanon. I want to emphasize once again that Turkey, which has always stood by them, will continue to stand by them in the future as well. My dear nation, esteemed members of Parliament, my dear brothers and sisters, by the grace of Allah, this year we are experiencing a very fruitful year in terms of rainfall. In fact, we have reached the highest rainfall level recorded in the last 66 years. As of today, the occupancy rate of our dams has increased by 26% compared to last year and has reached 81%. Thanks both to the favorable course of rainfall for production and to the planning and support measures we have implemented for our agricultural production, we expect high yields in many products this year. In fact, God willing, we may even break a historic production record this year. The grain harvest season has begun in many parts of our country. According to our current estimates, wheat production will increase by 27% compared to last year, while barley production will increase by 50%. Last year, due to drought, wheat yield had fallen to as low as 276 kilograms per hectare. This year, however, we project an average yield of 400 kilograms. In some of our regions, such as Thrace and Çukurova, we are even expecting yields reaching as high as 700 kilograms. Last week, our Turkish Grain Board announced its purchasing prices. Likewise, with a storage capacity of 20 million tons and more than 600 purchasing centers, our institution has completed all preparations for grain procurement. Not a single gram of our producers' products will go to waste. The institution will purchase all products brought to it. Furthermore, beginning 20 days after product delivery, the institution will also start making payments for those products. I wish the new harvest season to be beneficial and prosperous for all our farmers. I would also like to share another matter concerning our producers. Due to the wars and conflicts that have recently occurred in our region, increases have been experienced in production inputs. This has negatively affected the costs borne by our farmers. In order to ease the burden on our farmers, we have taken an important decision. Taking into account the excessive increases in input costs that emerged together with the Iran crisis, we are updating the amounts of the basic support and planning support that we announced for this year. Accordingly, we are increasing our support payments. I already wish that this will be beneficial and prosperous. Another piece of news concerns regional development investments. Within the scope of the first call of the Local Development Initiative program that we launched last year, we decided to support 303 projects through private sector investments amounting to 185 billion Turkish lira in various sectors ranging from agriculture to tourism, and from mining to manufacturing industry. We will accelerate local development and activate the potential of our cities. We regard the total of 1,156 applications submitted under the second call of the same program, which concluded last month, as a sign of the investment appetite within our country. Applications with a minimum fixed investment value totaling 453 billion Turkish lira will be evaluated as quickly as possible, and we will share the results. Before I bid farewell to you, with these thoughts, I would like to wish success to our national football team, which will play its first match in the 2026 World Cup on Sunday morning. I sincerely believe that our national team will achieve brand new victories both in the group stage and, God willing, in the rounds that follow, bringing great pride and joy to our nation. Likewise, I pray to Almighty God for success for all our children who will take the LGS examination on Saturday. I wish you success in your legislative activities. I entrust you all to Allah. I greet you with affection and respect. Thank you. Be well. Stay healthy.